them bitches.
My brother can actually, from his apartment, he can see the stadium that the Yard Goats play in.
That is great.
Yeah.
Fucking Hartford Yard Goats.
Full circle.
Anyways, back to holdouts. Ezekiel Elliott, while camp doesn't start till Friday for the Cowboys,
He did not board the plane.
he did not board the plane. However, Cowboys routinely have players not board the plane, but still make their way to California.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised for Ezekiel. I don't know.
He sounded kind of like wishy-washy on if he wants to hold out or not.
Zeke is a rare individual because the best way I can explain it is what Zeke wants to do changes based on his mood on that particular day.
The problem that I have with Ezekiel Elliott holding out, he's not in a contract year. He's still got 2 years under contract.
Well, that's why he doesn't hold a lot of leverage. I think Ezekiel Elliott's problem is the fact that he looks at the money that Dak Prescott got, and he's like, listen, man, you put a lot on my shoulders. If you're going to pay him, you should pay me so you can keep this locked down for the foreseeable future.
What the Cowboys should do is pay Dak, front load the contract, and they just walked in a run.
Yeah, whatever.
It's one run. Pay Dak, front load his contract, offer him Judge up to bat.
Yep.
Walk him. Just just walk him.
Rick Pitzel is not walking anybody. No. Anyway, so front load the contract on Dak's.
If you're going to do 4-year contracts for Dak, Amari, and Zeke, first 2 years front load Dak, Zeke the last 2 years, Amari the middle 2. So they're spreading the money out.
And that may be the way that, I mean, if they can get Zeke to agree to that, I think that would get it done. I think Zeke just wants to get acknowledgement and feel appreciated for the amount of workload that is put on him, because I think he's well aware, and as most, even us as fans, recognize that the offense runs through Zeke. That's where it starts.
Doesn't he have like the highest mileage for like any running back his age, and it's like by far?
I would believe, having not looked up the statistic, I would believe you. Because they use him a lot.
If it's not him, it would have been Kareem Hunt.
No, it was definitely him, and I think it was a big margin. But I did see a funny tweet, and it was like, for the numbers being thrown around for Dak and Zeke Elliott, you'd think that the Cowboys would have scored more points than the Giants last year, which was funny. There's obviously a lot more that goes into football than that, but it was entertaining.
I mean, it is funny, but I mean, the Giants had to score those points. They didn't have any fucking defense. So I mean,
ball control team.
The Cowboys, when the Cowboys played good teams, they were more than willing to just fucking eat clock. Why do you think they just gave the fucking running backs the brunt of the game in New Orleans?
Well, yeah, but that's the same thing. Like, for Dallas to be able to do that and play that kind of game efficiently, you're gonna have to pay Zeke, because Zeke is one of those players, like a Saquon, like a Kamara, like a Gordon, that you can realistically get 4 yards per carry out of him on most of their carries. Is it going to happen every time? No. But you can do that, and you're still getting first downs. Or putting you into third and manageable.
Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley are 3 players that I feel like when they touch the ball are getting a first down regardless of the down and distance.
They can. They're people that can do that. And I don't know. So to get to where we're going in this conversation, not to force it along, but to just, because I want to make the point, I don't think that this one goes into the season. I think this is more of Ezekiel testing out the front office to figure out when it comes time for, thank fucking Lord, when it comes time for contract negotiations, that he's going to have a better idea of what he's working with.
I mean, honestly, I think the smart thing to do would be for the Cowboys to be like, Zeke, we know what you are. We don't have any new plays for you to learn. Just sit out training camp and stay in shape.
Yeah, I mean, they can take care of him that way. But, I mean, I have a
show up to training camp, ride the bike, run on the treadmill, do whatever it is you need to do to stay in shape. If you need more protein, Mark Sanchez that shit and eat a bunch of hot dogs. Whatever you need to do, stay in shape, stay healthy, and we don't need you taking hits in practice.
Or you just spoon out of the whey protein container.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's there when the season starts, and I also wouldn't be surprised for them to continue these negotiations and him have a deal during the year done.
I assume he will.
Well, I think the Cowboys aren't stupid enough to not know that they need him.
I don't know if he'll get a new deal, but they'll definitely restructure his current deal and give him more money.
Probably, and they'll be like, listen, we're going to give you more money. You stay with the 2-year contract. Where you are after those 2 years, we'll evaluate and we'll pay you then.
Or, I mean, even just be like, this is just a quick fix so that we don't have this distraction of having to pay a bunch of people. We'll give you your money now. We'll work on restructuring your contract. And at the end of the season, we'll then be redo negotiations.
They can evaluate it and determine if they want to go forward. That doesn't seem unlikely. I mean, he is still making a decent amount of money for where he's at.
Making more than Dak.
But the other interesting holdout, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but Michael Thomas is holding out as well. And,
where did that come from?
Well, because I get it. He's on the last year of his rookie deal, and he is making way less money than he's worth. Way less.
He's the best receiver in the NFL. He's like, he's going to get paid. I think he's just trying to get something right now, just in case he's trying to injure this season.
I hope the Saints don't pay him.
Oh, they will. I think the Saints know, as far as like what I was talking about with what will be the realization in LA with the Chargers. With that situation happening, a few games in, them realizing like, oh shit, we do need to pay him. If that happens, I think the Saints already fucking know that. They know going in that week one, we do not want to not be without Michael Thomas.
They were already negotiating a contract, from what I had seen, that would make him the third highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, and the quote-unquote talks fell apart.
Yeah, but that means that they're close and they can iron out details and they can try and work it out, because he deserves to be one of the top 3 highest paid wide receivers in the NFL. He's unbelievable.
I agree.
Or maybe it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just an Ohio State thing.
I think you are biased because it's Ohio State, but
no, but I'm just saying like the holdouts, because Ezekiel, Michael Thomas, like they're like, you know what, let's just fucking Ohio State holdout, man.
Are we sure Melvin Gordon didn't go to Ohio State?
I know for a fact he did not. Because I believe him and Ezekiel were like running backs at the same time. No, actually, maybe it's a Big Ten thing, because Melvin Gordon went to Wisconsin.
Yep.
Maybe we're like, you know what? Big Ten, big money, let's go.
Joey Bosa?
Yeah, Joey Bosa was like, yo, man, I did this when I came in. Why couldn't you have done it then?
Who else is, Lev Bell?
Yeah. Huh?
Wait.
No. Yeah, Lev Bell went
Michigan
to Michigan State.
Yeah. Yep, it's a Big Ten thing.
Maybe it's a Big Ten thing holding out.
If we were the type of podcast that said iconic things and made t-shirts, it's a Big Ten thing would be one of our t-shirts.
Yeah, of course. Because it seems kind of strange that Big Ten players hold out a lot.
Well, that just goes to show you they are, in their minds, undervalued.
Yeah, except for what's his name? Who held out last year? The D lineman from the Rams. He held out because he knew he was the baddest dude.
Aaron Donald?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to Pitt, right?
But he held out because he knew he was like, yo, arguably I'm the best player in the NFL.
I feel like there is no argument. It is him.
He is a bad man, and he knew it.
It is legitimately him.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you, because I really think he is.
And then it's a fight for second, in my opinion, between Zeke and Saquon.
I don't know. We're also forgetting that Le'Veon Bell is a fucking animal. Just because we haven't seen him in like a year and a half doesn't mean he's not an animal. I would not be surprised if he lights up in New York.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Especially if he stayed in shape this whole time. Like, I think people are, like, forgetting the fact of how good he was. Except for, like, Jets fans. I'm sure, like, Dan O'Shea's well aware of how great he is.
Are you O'Shea?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. But see, like, you see how he says that? Oh, yes. Yeah, they're downplaying it, too. They're like, don't fucking remember him. Don't worry. That little guy? Don't worry about that little guy.
Yo, Kenyon Drake over there?
Yeah.
In Miami? Yo, I don't know if you know this, but Buffalo's got LaShawn McCoy and Frank Gore. What? Sony Michel? Way better than that Xbox. Am I right? Am I right? Meanwhile, they got Lev Bell.
Yeah, they're like, this little guy, that little running back, don't worry about the little guy.
The guy from Michigan State?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Come on. Focus on Sam Darnold. Be reasonable.
Come on. We all know this offense is going to go through Robbie Anderson. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Come on. I think that deal will get done before the season even starts, as far as Michael Thomas is concerned. It will be done.
Before the first game is played? Yeah.
Yeah. They'll get that done as soon as they can.
If not, it's on Michael Thomas because he doesn't want to be a Saint. If there's not a deal done before the first week, Michael Thomas does not want to be a Saint.
I can see that maybe, but I don't know why a wide receiver wouldn't want to be on the Saints.
You play in a fucking dome.
Drew Brees is throwing to you.
You got Drew Brees throwing the ball to you. Most likely, you're going to the fucking playoffs.
He doesn't even have to see where the wide receivers are over the lineman. He just knows where to put it.
Well, this is Michael Thomas's, fourth year in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah? And he's been on the Saints all 4?
Yeah.
And the Saints have gone to the playoffs 3 out of those 4 years?
I think so.
So, in 4 years of his career, he's gone to the playoffs more times than Brandon Marshall did, who's at 0.
Wow.
In a 14-year career. So, I
guess there's that.
Why, it'll get done. If not, it's on him. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he doesn't want to be a Saint. I don't know. But
assuming they're willing to pay the man, they've also got to, cough up that dough. I get he's on the last year of a rookie contract, but when he's one of the best players in the NFL, he has a little bit of leverage to ask for more than his rookie deal. So they should cough it up, absolutely. If they don't, that's on them. If they don't necessarily have to make him the highest paid wideout in the league. If the difference between their numbers is only a couple million, then I'd place the onus on him. But they need to come up with a reasonable offer first.
Right, and I believe, as we've said, we're beating this point to death. He will get paid. He will get his contract before the first game of the season.
I'm more confident about that than anything else that I've said.
Before we move on to...
Regarding holdouts, I should say.
Yeah, before we move on to talking about the ACC, which we'll get to in 1 minute, anyone want to help me petition the Saints to make Alvin Kamara number 47 so we can call him AK-47?
Yes.
I think, if I do a change.org petition, will you guys sign it?
I'm actually thinking about tweeting him right now. Be like, yo, dude, can you change your name or number to 47 so I can call you AK-47?
Do it! And tag us in it on Twitter so that we can see the responses. But yeah, we need an AK-47. Isn't Taysom Hill 47? Do they have a 47?
I don't know. Who cares? They're not as good as him.
Exactly. All right. So, before we move on to the ACC, anything else holdout-wise? Or just quick, brief NFL mention-wise? Going once?
No.
Going twice? And gone. Atlantic Coast Conference, gentlemen. And if you are a lady and you happen to be listening, thank you for listening. If you're a yard goat and you happen to be listening, bah. No, that's a sheep. Whatever. Yard goats, women in Hartford, same thing. What? What? Tony's over here giving me a